Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small speeder. This one sitting right behind me is called the Speedbolt T-1, which is this lovely thing in the green. So it's a very small, non-combat ship that features only atmospheric thrusters, as well as a very unique, almost race-like design. So to go with it, what I've done is spawned in this lovely thing called the KlangaCola Raceway, which is like a giant NASCAR ring for you to go around and around and around and hope nothing bad happens as you approach high speeds. We'll test that out a bit later. Back over to the Speedbolt and pressing F10, finding it in the spawn menu wherever the camera's going. There it is. So the Speedbolt T1 is 118 small blocks, using the Sparks of the Future, Heavy Industry, Warfare 2, Decorative Block number 2, and Wasteland DLC packs. We've got a nice lot of information about it on the Steam Workshop page. Shows its length, width and height, its weight, its max jump range, and of course it's got no weapons and it uses atmospheric thrusters. There's also a nice bit of story behind it. So giving this thing a thumbs up, we'll move around towards the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside, we'll then see what it has to offer in the control seat, then we'll fly around this little racetrack, and that'll be that. So at the very front, this is all we can see. So front and centre, what we got is a piston head with a hinge right below it. See our wasteland spotlights on the left and right hand side, with some great use for our beam blocks, adding some more decoration. Moving around onto the side, this is all we can see, so we can see a hydrogen tank behind our hinge, which is probably why the hinge is on the front there, so you can recharge this thing up with hydrogen without needing to try and fit a bulky connector on the ship, ruining the overall design. But behind our hydrogen tank, we've got a hydrogen engine to give this thing some power. There's the first of many atmospheric thrusters. Round and over to here is our warfare battery, some great use of our green and white steel blocks. There's our seat to drive this thing around. There's some more atmospheric thrusters with some blinking green lights, an antenna to make sure you can always find this thing. Then at the back where I'm standing, please bugger off, there we go. We've got more atmospheric thrusters for our left and right hand side, and some fantastic use for our unfinished window blocks, just acting as some decoration. Rounding towards the back, this is what's going to push us around, so it's a singular atmospheric thruster. But that's all we can see, just once again a bunch of unfinished steel blocks. And over the top there, there's our atmospheric thrusters to keep us off the ground, that's our antenna, that's looking down at our chair. And towards the front there we go. Just dropping down and coming underneath it. You're not going to be able to see too much because a lot of it is going to be on top. There we go, there's the bottom of how it's been protected up, there's the bottom of our chairs, there's our atmospheric thrusters, and there is the back. And that is a very brief look around the outside of the Speedbolt T1, and does look fantastic with how it's all been set up. So now what I can do is just grab hold of my character, we can come up to it, get into the seat, and look at the controls. And this is all we get. We've got number 6 for our antenna, we've got number 7 for our batteries to auto recharge, number 8 for our hydrogen engines on and off, then number 9 for our hydrogen tank to stockpile on and off. And there we go. So I can now lift this thing up and we can fly around the track. We'll go in first person view and I'll try and keep this nice and low. I have a feeling I'm just going to slam into the side of this. And this was more intended to be for a, oh god. So here we are in a brand new one, I'm just going to let it come to a stop. Yes, it wasn't a very good idea to put this around a track that's designed for wheels, because just slamming into the ground, well, you saw what happened. But anyway, for a quick thruster test moving forwards, this is what we get. We're not the fastest thing in the world, but that's to be expected from a ship with very limited thrusters. Come to a stop, we should be exactly the same, so we've got one thruster forwards and backwards. The moving left and moving right should also be the same, with moving up being the different one because we've got 2 of them, and moving down, we've got none. Then wiggling my mouse around, this is what we get. We've got a surprising amount of control on here. It's still very meaty for a small ship, but still perfectly suits this ship and what it's been designed for. So it's not going to be the quickest thing in the world, it's not going to be the thing to escape from combat. It does take a little bit of time to get going, but for just racing around a track, just from going from A to B and exploring, it's a nice little ship to play around with. So there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download it and play around for yourself. Highly recommend you do. There'll also be a link to the track that I'm currently using as well in case you want to check it out with a vehicle that's suitable for it. And I'll be back with another video somewhat soon. Bye bye.